Hey y'all, welcome back. It's another beautiful Thursday in God's Kingdom. And today I want to talk about three different ways you can convert your followers into buyers. Now, I want to start out by saying there's so many ways to do this, but today we're going to focus on three. So for those of you who watch me live, welcome. For those of you who come back and watch the replay, welcome. I'm super excited to dive into the content today. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Shanta Prince. I work with women professionals who want to turn their expertise into an online business. And I basically teach them how to make money from what they know. I teach them how to build an entire brand and business around knowledge that they already have. And I think that so many people understand that they have something of value, they have something that they can offer, and they just don't know how to package it, how to put it out there, how to show up, and how to make what they know make sense to the people who they're called to serve. And that's where I come in at. I help you to make it make sense so that people are willing to pay for what you have to offer. And at the end of the day, that's really what it all comes down to. Does what you do and what you offer make sense to the people that you're called to serve? And sometimes it's not that they don't need it or that they don't want it. It just has to make sense, because if somebody's going to pull out their card and buy something from you, they have to understand what they're getting. It has to make sense to them. And so when it comes to building a brand with your getting clear on your messaging, with creating your offers, with leveraging online systems and tools, I teach it all. So that's in a nutshell what I do. For those of you who are just joining, I want you to feel welcome. Feel free to reach out. Most people know that they can reach me on in via direct message. So if you have any questions or if you have any topics that you want to discuss, let me know. I know I have one topic on the table. Someone requested to talk about LinkedIn, and I will be talking about LinkedIn. I just did a session with one of my clients on LinkedIn. We talked about how to set up her profile. We talked about some of the things and some of the tools that she can use on LinkedIn to grow her audience. And there's still so much more. Like, we spent like a good hour and a half on that session, but there's still so much more to talk about when it comes to LinkedIn. So we will be covering that as well. Um, if you don't already have 10 ways to package and sell your expertise online, just tap the link that you see in the comments with this video, and you can download your free copy of 10 ways to package and sell your expertise online, where I talk about 10 different ways. Hey, Renee, 10 different ways you can sell your expertise. And these are proven ways, ways that actually work. And so the thing is, when I talked about just a few minutes ago about how when you want to offer your services, the struggle sometimes is, okay, well, how do I package it? How do I position it so that, somebody will want to buy it? That's where your packaging comes in, is how you package it, and is also how you are articulated. And so knowing the different ways you can package your expertise goes a long way, because you have the flexibility to shift and move. Like, for example, when the economy changes or when something is happening in the world, listen, we all have businesses that we still have to run, and there's no reason to stay stuck. So for example, I know when COVID hit, my business made the most money that it ever had made during a time when so much was going on in the world. A lot of people were losing their jobs and just so many things. Kids were out of school, and so people started realizing, wait a minute, I can't really depend on just a job to get me where I'm trying to go. I need to figure something else out. And so more people were interested in just being able to build a business or make money from what they already know. And so I saw a lot of other fellow business coaches and teachers who also had a surge of income, because so many people were like, I need something else. I need something new. Let me tell you, there is a way to be prosperous by just using what you already know, and it's all in the packaging. So download your free copy of 10 ways to package and sell your expertise online. If you're on my email list, you already have it. Just go check your email, and you should see that in your email. You can download it and get to work on your ideas and seeing how you can serve people and how you can make money using your gifts, and have a backup plan. So if something happens, you can add other things. Some people, for example, just recently when we had some changes in the economy, some people started adding courses to what they were already offering, because they had so many people who went from having predictable income to having unpredictable income. And so when a person has unpredictable income, even if they're a high ticket investor, if they normally invest high ticket, if their income is unpredictable, they may not be able to invest in high ticket, but maybe there's something else that that they can invest in. And so that's the beauty of knowing different ways that you can package and leverage your expertise. So today, you guys, I'm just going to cover 3 ways that you can convert your followers into buyers. And like I said, there's so many ways, y'all. Like it's just endless. The ways you can close sales are endless. One of my clients, she closed a sale. She was at a store and she started a conversation with somebody, and they wrote her a check on the spot because they wanted to join her program. And that, listen, y'all, like there's when you have an online business, like there's look, you can close sales online and offline, but it's just your income can be unlimited. The ways you can close sales can be unlimited. And this is why I like to show my clients how to talk about their programs, talk about what they offer, talk about what they do, so you can close a sale anywhere. So yes, the opportunities for sales are unlimited, you guys. And even though one thing I want to say before we dive into this is that even though sometimes when you're looking around you, you may see something different than what you want to see. So, for example, when we started going through COVID, I started noticing 2 different groups of people, and there could have been more, but I noticed that one group of people were really struggling, and that's okay, right? Because we all struggle sometimes. But then there was another group of people who were like thriving, and they were having major breakthroughs. And the thing is, what you are seeing, what you're surrounding yourself with can change your perspective on things. So I was seeing people like struggle, and then I was seeing people have these major breakthroughs. And I decided to stay in alignment with the people who were having the major breakthroughs, because I'm like, listen, even though times get hard, even though we all struggle, we don't have to stay there, right? So what you're seeing around you, if you think if you're surrounded by lack, if you're surrounded by people just being negative all the time, then that tends to, affect your perspective of things. But if you're surrounded by people who are breaking through, people who are thriving, people who are choosing to walk in abundance, then your perspective starts to change. And so when you're building a business and you're starting from where you are, sometimes it can be hard because you're trying to grow, you're trying to build, and stuff just keep coming up, and then you're starting to have doubts like, okay, God, did you really call me to this? The God and I have those conversations with God all the time, like, okay, God, did you really call me to this? Because I don't know if I wanted this to be my life. But then before I know it, I'm back in the game because I'm called to this, right? And I always say, when you're called, you can't quit, right? You can't quit when you're called. So you got to figure this thing out. So think about where you are right now, what you're seeing versus what you need to see. If you are in a place where you're seeing the inspiration that you need, you're seeing people have major breakthroughs. See, I'm the kind of person where I've seen you, you guys, every time around about the holidays, and you probably have seen this. Every time around about the holidays, people post things like, oh, be careful what you're posting. Be mindful that everybody is not having a great Christmas, and that some people are experiencing, hardships and things like that. And so there are people who encourage other people not to share because of what somebody else might be going through. Now, the thing is, I'm going to tell you exactly why I am very much against that mindset. Because the first of all, that thought that, oh, don't post too much, or don't post the gifts on your tree, or don't post this, or don't post that. The reason why I'm against that mindset is because it automatically assumes that because somebody is going through a difficult time, that they won't be happy because you're having it's your season of abundance, or it's your season of whatever it is you're experiencing. I don't think all people are like that, because some people, when they see you winning, some people do get excited and inspired and motivated, and they may say, you know what, I know Renee, and if she's able to break through, I know I can do it too. And so I don't think that everybody who's going through something is in a place where they can't celebrate or be happy for other people. I think that sometimes seeing you win inspires them through a hard time. And the other reason is that I think that everybody should have the space to share, whatever they're doing or however God is moving in their lives, and we all have the space to be able to win. But at the same time, we all have our times as well. But for me, I'm the kind of person I get super excited when people win. I get really excited when someone says, "Oh, I just posted. I just launched my book, or I just launched my program, and I had my first six-figure launch." That kind of stuff is exciting to me because I'm like, yes, there's so much success out here. God is so abundant that He never He never runs out. He never runs out of anything. And so the other thing about this mindset thing that we're talking about, when people are like, "Oh, don't don't share your blessings, don't post too much," is I think that the more people are have the space to be able to share, and the more people are able to talk about the things that are happening in their lives, y'all, like, and you can agree or disagree, but I believe, y'all, that everything is available for grabbing a hold of. So, for example, if Renee says, "You know what? I just hit my seven figure mark," right? Let's say Renee hit her seven-figure mark, and I'm still trying to hit my seven-figure mark. If I see Renee hit hers, I'm gonna be like, "You know what? I'm super close to mine. Let me step up my game. Let me stay with this thing." And so I feel like everything is available for grabbing a hold of. And there's nothing that God will do for somebody else that He won't do for you. And that's it at the end of the day, right? It just means that if you're not there yet, it's just not your turn, but your turn is coming. And we really have to understand that, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, because we got to learn how to really walk this thing out by faith. Right. I know that's right. When you are called, you can't quit. Exactly. Yes, seven figures. I believe. Yes. Listen, Renee, I'm telling. Look, seven figures is not as hard as it seems. And once you get into it, you'll start to see, like, oh my gosh, it's not. It's not as difficult as I thought it was. It just seems like it's so hard and it's so difficult to achieve. But once you get in it and start moving and start closing sales, you'll start to be able to see, oh, you know what? Now I see how people do this. And one of the things that I kept thinking about before I hit this live button today is that I promise you that if you do the work, the right work, you will be successful. I'm so confident in y'all. Like, I'm so confident. And I'm hoping I'm hoping that my faith and my confidence will pour over to those of you who are struggling to really break through in your mindset. I'm so confident that if you do the right things, you will be successful. And I'm being very specific here because you got to do the right stuff, right? It's one thing to show up, but you got to show up and do the right things. You got to do the things that move the needle. This is why I teach the way that I teach, because I want my clients to know what moves the needle. And when you show up, you know what to do when you show up, right? So you know the right actions, you know what to do, you know how to close the sales, you know how to move the needle. You know how to put offers together. You know what to say to people in the DMs. And those are the things that move the needle. And so I try to teach them how to focus on the right things. And so even if they're struggling, they know exactly why, right? They know exactly why, because they understand that, okay, wait a minute, this launch didn't go how I wanted it to go. Oh, you know what? I wanted to get 10 sales. I only got 4. I probably should have worked a little bit more on my lead generation. Like, they can go back and pinpoint, oh, you know what? I didn't do this thing, or I didn't do that thing. And that's what I want for them. I want them to be able to always look at, okay, wait a minute. This is not the outcome that I expected. Where can I go back and look at what I need to do? Just like the other day, I was talking to one of my clients, and we were talking about her, um, you know, making more money. And I was like, hey, well, have you done this and have you done that? And she's like, no, I see where this is going. Like she already knows, like, okay, if you want to get the outcome, you got to do the right things. And so I promise you that if you do the work, you will be successful. I saw a lady she made a post in this group that I'm in, and she said, I'm afraid to buy this program because I'm afraid that, I'll get it and I'll do the stuff and it just won't work. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, I wish I could have, like, I always tell my clients when they send me certain things, I always say something like, I wish I can come through this phone. Like, you gonna make me come through this phone. But I felt like I had a moment, like, I wish I could just come through this phone and just like shake you, because you will be successful if you do the work. And a lot of times what's setting you apart from, filling that gap that you want to fill is the work. There's a gap between where you are and where you want to be, and it takes work to get there. But if you do the things that you're supposed to do and you stay consistent with it, you will be successful. Now, what I can't guarantee is when when you have your major breakthrough. But I can tell you, if you're doing the work and you stay consistent, remember, doing the right work, right? Because if you're showing up but you're doing the wrong things, you're going to get burned out, you're going to be discouraged, you're going to struggle. But I'm not talking about the struggles that we all have, right? Because we all struggle. There's some struggles that come with just being an entrepreneur. Like, there's some stuff that's just, it's just a part of being an entrepreneur. But I'm talking about unnecessary struggles, because sometimes we can bring unnecessary struggles upon ourselves because we're not doing what we know we're supposed to be doing. And that's okay, because at least we know what to do to fix it, right? At least we know, okay, I need to work on this. Like the other day, I was sharing in a group how, like, I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I get relaxed on list building, right? And so I'm always telling my clients, make sure you're focusing on building your email list. So, and I was able to just say, hey, you know what? Sometimes I get to a certain income level and I get comfortable, like, you know what? Like, look, I don't look that I crossed the six-figure mark this year, and I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable, right? And then you hit another milestone, like, okay, now I'm on my way to multiple six figures, and then I get comfortable again, right? So every like financial milestone, there's a level of comfort that comes with that. Like, oh, you know what? Okay, I made enough money this year. I'm great. I'm comfortable, and then I get relaxed. And I think sometimes it's really important to go back to basics. So I was sharing how, you know what, I really need to get back to the basics that I know move the needle. And so list building that's one of those things where you just got to refocus and say, okay, you know what? I got to get back to building my list. You could get removed from those things. Like, you always got to remind yourself, okay, let me refocus. Let me go back to the basic. Let me go back to the foundations of building a successful business, building a successful online business. One of my clients just messaged me last night, and she was building an email funnel. And it's so funny because she's so not technical, and she built her email funnel, and she sent me a screenshot, and she's like, this is how it's showing up. How do I fix this? And I was like, oh, that's an easy fix. I was like, let me log in real quick to see where it's at, so I can tell you where to go to fix this. And so I showed her, where to go, and she wrote back and she was like, I can't believe I can't believe I built this. Like, I can't believe I did this. And I'm like, see, I'm like, once you get into it, it's not as hard. Sometimes your mindset is bigger than what the actual issue is, right? Your mindset about the thing is bigger than the actual thing. She got in there, and I'm so proud, because I'm like, oh my goodness, this is someone who's like, I'm not technical at all. Don't ask me to set up nothing. Don't help me. And she built her own funnel for a challenge that she's getting ready to run all by herself. And all I did was help her make a few little settings, and she did that thing. And so so that's what I mean by, like, y'all, like, if you're doing the right work, you're doing the right things, you will absolutely be successful. Hey, yep, amen to that. Do the right work. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things today that will help you to convert your followers into buyers. I know that this is a struggle for so many people, and I've had, somebody just flat out tell me it just like that. She said, I'm struggling to convert my followers into buyers. And so she's got the followers, she's got the influence, and she's like, I just don't know how to convert them. So we're going to talk about some ways to do that. So conversion is when you inspire someone to do whatever action you want them to do. So conversion can mean, oh, I just got I got somebody on my email list. As a matter of fact, I've been having my own checking my own conversions this morning because I have been promoting, working, focusing on my list building. And this is something that I try to do every year where I take a week, every quarter where I take a week and I'm just like all focused on list building. And I'm like shamelessly dropping it everywhere. Like that thing is going everywhere. I don't care if like people are like, oh, I'm so tired of seeing this lead magnet. Okay, well, then if you're tired of seeing it, that probably means you need to go ahead and download it. But I'm not like, I'm just shamelessly sharing it because I need to take that time to refocus. So when I share my email list, and I just had five new people this morning, So, so when I'm sharing my email list, then I want to see, if people are enjoying it, if people are downloading it. Those are my conversions. So if it's my email list, when someone downloads my email list, that's called a conversion. Now, if I'm selling something and someone buys the thing that I'm selling, that's also a conversion. And so basically, when I say conversion, I mean whatever it is you're trying to get somebody to do. So if you're trying to get them to download your email list, if you're trying to get them to buy from you, if you're trying to get them to join your list, the actual action that they take is the conversion. Okay. And so when it comes to converting followers into buyers, that takes a little bit of intention. And so what I see a lot of people doing is, and this is not to bash anybody, you guys, because y'all know that I'm a teacher. So I'm gonna teach you how to get it right. But what I see a lot of people doing is they post a lot of inspirational stuff. And I've been this person too. Like listen, y'all, like I'm great at the inspirational stuff. Like I can do the inspirational in my sleep. As a matter of fact, I give my clients 300 inspirational quotes that they can use that they can just use and as like white label, meaning they can post the stuff as if it's their own. And I really I've actually used those posts on my business page. It was a long time ago. And then sometimes I still go back to it. Like, let me see what I typed years ago and what I can use today. But I'm great at the inspirational stuff, you guys. But the inspirational stuff alone does not get the clients. The inspirational stuff alone does not close the sale. And so what I see a lot of people doing is they post a lot of inspirational stuff and people feel great when they're connected to people like that. They feel good. I've had people tell me from my business page, like, hey, I look forward to your post. This is when I was posting back in the day, 12 times a day, but not like the long, heavy posts that you guys see me doing, but like 12 times a day, short, inspirational quotes. And the reason why I do this is because my audience loves it. Like, and your audience might love it too if you try it, but people like to feel good. And so what happens is if you only post inspirational stuff, then you get a lot of people on your page feeling good, but they're not buying anything. And so the way that you start converting is you start giving people opportunities to take the next step. One thing that we often forget, you guys, and this is what I said, I was just saying a couple days ago, I'm like, I need to get back to basics. Sometimes it's easy to forget that social media is only the first step. A lot of people use it as like the last step. And so, but it's really only the first step. And so this is why so many people struggle to sell, because you only have a bunch of people who are following you at the first step. Okay. So when we talk about building a funnel, I think I may have taught on this before, but when you talk about building a funnel or moving people through a funnel, the thing is, if you take a funnel, the top of the funnel is very wide and then it gets narrow as it goes down. So picture a triangle with the tip of the triangle at the bottom. That's what a funnel visually, that's what a funnel looks like. And so what happens is you get a lot of people at the top of your funnel, meaning they're just now getting to know you. You guys, many times the top of the funnel is them joining you on following you on Facebook, sending you a friend request, or joining your group. That's just the first step in this whole process. So they're at the top of your funnel, and all they're doing is just getting to know you and getting familiar with your brand. And what happens is a lot of people stay stuck there because you're not giving them opportunities to move to the second place, the second level of your funnel. So the way that you move them along is you give them opportunities to take the next step. So a lot of people don't do that. They don't give an opportunity for the people in their audience to move on to that next step, keeping in mind that social media is only the first part. They just got to know you. That's just awareness, right? They just got to know you. They just connected with you. And a lot of times, you guys, when somebody just got to know you, that's not the time to ask for a sale. That's not the time to sell them something unless they come out and ask you and say, "Hey, I need help with this. Can you help?" Right? That's different. But if they just know they just met you, your job is to move them along that funnel. And so the one way that you do that, I know I know some of y'all already know what I'm going to say, but one way that you get people to take the next step is by getting them on your email list. Okay, getting them on your email list. See, a lot of people only sell on social media, and that's not cutting it. It doesn't cut it. Now, when I work with my clients, I show them how to start out, starting with their audience on social media. Get that first round of sales, and then okay, now we got to move on. Now you got some income in the door, you got some money in the door, you can pay for some things that you need for your business, but now we got to move on because we got to get people moving through that funnel. So that works for like the first time around, like tapping into your audience, using your DM skills and things like that, tapping into your network. That works for the first time around and maybe even the second. But the first time around, you get those initial sales, get some money in the door, and now let's go to work, right? So my first goal is always to help my clients make money. But at some point, you got to move on from that. You got to build up from that. And so offering people your it could be anything. It could be your free offer, and your free offer could be a guide. It can be, anything that you're giving them for free, but something that's going to be valuable to them, right? Because you have to remember these people are giving you their email address. So it's giving them something of value that's going to change something for them, give them some clarity, help them to get to a next step to on the journey to where they're trying to go. So when you offer that, as a matter of fact, you see my offer in the comments of this video right now, where I say, hey, if you want to download 10 ways to package and sell your expertise, you can do that right here, right? That's me giving my audience an opportunity to move to that next step. So now we can move beyond the awareness phase where you're just now meeting me. Now you can take the next step, and I'm moving you along the funnel. So getting people on your email list should be something that you focus on very often, majority of the time. And like I said, this is easy to get away from this, right? It's so easy to get comfortable. Like I was talking about, you hit the first 6 figures, you're like, oh, I'm good. You hit the second 6 figures, you're like, oh yeah, I'm comfortable. And so you can literally get comfortable and forget all about list building, but it's so important. It's crucial for your business. The more people on your email list, the greater your capacity to make money. Okay. So you want to be intentional about that. So offering your free whatever your free offer is, offering for people to sign up for your free classes, your free workshops, your free whatever it is, workshops, master classes, challenges, whatever it is that you're doing, those also really work well for building your list. And in many cases, I do very well with list building when I'm launching, because my conversion event, which is I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, that is serving as the freebie. So sometimes, even if you don't have a free offer, but you want to do like you want to offer a conversion event, which is number 2 on the list, that's another way to get people on your email list. And so that's the reason why I was telling you about my client who she built her own funnel. She was like, I can't believe I just built this. Well, she built her funnel for her challenge that she has. She's running a challenge. So she's like, we talked about the importance of, if you're running that challenge, get those email addresses. Why? Because the sales process, a major part of the sales process happens via email. And so if you're running a challenge, you're putting all that effort in, You need to make sure you got all the pieces to the puzzle and that you got your sales sequence set up so that, you can, a lot of people buy from email. Like email is still like the thing. So you need that solid sales process in place, and you need your email list to be able to do that. Okay. So growing your email list, making offers. I always advise, it depends, but I usually advise my clients that if you're going to do something like that, make sure you take a few minutes to set up something to collect email addresses. Now, some things, you don't always have to do that if you want to just, go live and offer some information. But if you're putting in the effort to put on a well organized conversion event, you need to get those email addresses. Okay. So, number one, getting people on your email list is one way to convert your followers into buyers. Why? Because a lot of your selling is going to happen on your email list. Some people only are selling on social media only, and that's not enough. You can sell on social media, but your email list is going to really be powerful for your sales. Majority of your sales are going to happen on that email list. When you send out those links to join, when you send out those links to pay for pay for your workshops or pay for your programs, or when you send out that application link, a lot of your sales are going to come right from your email list. So number two is conversion events. And I was already kind of seeding that, but a conversion event, remember when I said what a conversion is, right? A conversion event is when someone takes the action that you want them to take. So if you want to launch your program, if you want to get new clients, a conversion event is an awesome way to do that. Now, I know a lot of you guys have done Mary Kay, or if you haven't done Mary Kay, you at least know what Mary Kay is. I used to do Mary Kay. Back in, I think, 2001 or 2002, and then I became a personal use consultant because I love the product so much. And so I'm like, okay, well, I don't really want to sell. I just want to, I just want to be able to get the products. But so you guys know how when you do the Mary Kay parties, you invite people over, you have them try the skincare, you have them put on some makeup, you got the mirrors out on the table, you got the makeup remover wipes, you got all the skincare, and they get to sample it before they actually buy it. And so when they get to sample it, they're like, oh my goodness, let me tell you, when I used to do the Mary Kay parties, the thing that people used to really love was the face wash and then putting the moisturizer on. Like people were always wowed by just washing their face and then putting the moisturizer on. And so at that point, it's like, oh my goodness, I need this moisturizer. I need this face wash. Well, a conversion event is kind of like that. It's actually very much like that. So having a Mary Kay party is a conversion event to sell Mary Kay, right? So when you do your conversion events, what you're doing is you're inviting people in to get a sample of what it's like to work with you. They get to experience you. They get to see your personality. They get to see your pretty face. They get to hear all this knowledge that you have and how you can help them. And then you make them an offer. And some people, of course, yes, some people are going to say, well, now is just not the right time for me. But some people are going to say, yes, absolutely. I want this. So hosting a conversion event is a great way to convert your followers into buyers. Invite them to like picture it as like a showcase, like how when you go to the Mary Kay party, and some of them do some of the prettiest parties. They have the setup all nice, and they have good food. Listen, if you cook me some good food, you can get me to buy anything. so 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 they have the showcase all laid out, and people can come in and browse and try the things and make their purchases. So your conversion event is much like that. And so usually in the conversion event, you're giving your people the opportunity to get to know you and to see you in action and to connect with you, and then you make them an offer. Here's why conversion events are so powerful, because one of the biggest things that you need for people to buy from you is trust. During that conversion event, when you're teaching and you're sharing your knowledge, you're building trust during that time, and they see your face on camera and they hear your story, and then they see you teach all this amazing stuff, and then at the end you make them an offer. Listen, I'm here for the offer. If I sign up for somebody's webinar or their whatever, I'm most likely ready to buy. I'm just waiting till the end of the webinar. I'm just waiting till the end so you can put that link up so I can go ahead and buy, right? People show up at your conversion event because they have a problem that they need a solution to, okay? So hosting your own conversion events is another way to to convert your buyers, your followers into buyers. And then finally, this is just we're just gonna do three today, you guys. But there's so many ways. Keep that in mind. There's so many different things you can do to convert your followers into buyers. But the third one I want to talk about is mostly for those who sell high ticket, and that's calls. Getting on calls with people is a great way to convert somebody from a follower into a buyer. And there's a very strategic and but classy way to do this. A very classy and elegant way to get people on a call. At first, I used to struggle with like, how do I get people on a call? Now, I've flowed through it with ease. I've met so many people, you guys, from Zoom, like sitting like on my couch or like at home in the comfort of my home. And I've met people right on Zoom without even leaving my couch. And so, and I've closed many clients that way, just hopping on Zoom with them just to have a conversation with them. Now, I don't recommend getting on calls with people unless you're doing high ticket. If you're selling, a workshop for $97, you don't need to be getting on the phone with people. Okay. That's because you're going to be burned out. And so if you're selling a high ticket offer, then getting on a call with somebody can go a long way. So for example, when I invested in a $20,000 program, I got on the phone with somebody because usually if somebody's going to spend that much money, they want to talk to somebody, right? If you're going to drop 20K or even 10K on a program, you're going to want to talk to somebody. You're going to want to make sure it's what you need. You're going to want to make sure it's a good investment. And so calls go a long way. Hopping on the phone with somebody or hopping on Zoom with somebody is a great way to build trust, build connection, talk about what you offer, and make them an offer. And so usually the way that this will look is if they're ready to do it right on that call, and you can ask them, is there any reason why you won't be able to make that first payment today and get started right now? And so if they say yes, look, you go into your pay, whoever you're using as your payment processor, you put that information in. For me, it's Stripe. So if they say yes, I'll go right into Stripe and put their information in, collect that first payment, send them all the stuff, and then we get going right then and there. But getting people on the phone is another great way to convert followers into buyers. And the way that you would do that is by offering it, making an offer, saying, hey, I've got this, I got some spots open for a phone call, or I've got some spots open for discovery sessions, click here to book. Or you can offer those calls in the direct messages. You can offer those calls from your emails when you send out your email. Y'all, so many ways. But this is the kind of stuff that I teach inside of my programs so that my clients can be efficient in what they're doing and they can make sure they're doing the right work. They're doing the things that move the needle. Now, if you are interested in selling online, getting clients, or packaging up your expertise, I'm your girl. So feel free to reach out. You can send me a DM. You can email me at info@shantaprince.com and let me know what you're trying to do. And we can talk more about how I can support you, some of the programs that I have available, some of the mentorship opportunities. If that's something that you're interested in doing, I would love to help you do it. And I also have an event coming up in April. I have some seats open for that. It's April 5th and 6th in Atlanta. We're going to be going into detail about y'all. Like y'all already know, I have to come on here and struggle to finish in less than an hour. So can you imagine hanging out with me for 2 days? So I have so much information to share with you, but I really want you to walk away like, oh my goodness, I got this. And of course, you're not going to walk away and try to implement everything overnight. But when you walk away from this in-person event, you're going to have a game plan. So you're going to walk away like, okay, this is April. So the rest of April, I'm working on this. All right. Okay. So now once I finish getting this done in the month of May, I'm working on this. Or you can break it down by quarters, but you're going to walk away with a game plan for stuff that you can actually implement for your business. We're going to talk about social media marketing. We're going to talk about list building, caption writing. We're going to talk about how to put your brand assets together. We're going to talk about how to launch. We're going to talk about how to create offers and so much more. But this is an intensive event, meaning you're going to get a lot of information so that when you leave, you can start to put things in place for your business. Okay. And so remember what I said when I'm like, listen, I can get inspiration at home. Like if I need to be inspired, I can open up YouTube right now and like find me an inspirational speech. And I paid a lot of money, you guys, to go to some of these business events. And many times I walk away just feeling inspired, but I don't have anything to implement. And I don't mind, feeling inspired because for me it's about the connections, it's about the network. But if I'm going to invest like a lot of money, I want to walk away with stuff that I can implement. And I will tell you that this event is very it's not, as expensive as you might think. It's not as expensive as some of the events that I have invested in and walked away with a lot less. Y'all, I paid $4,500 for a 4-day event, you guys, and I walked away with way less than what you're going to walk away with at this event. Okay. And it's set this way intentionally. Okay. So if you want a spot, let me know. You won't find an event that's giving out this type of quality information at this rate. Okay. So reach out, let me know. If you're y'all, if you one of the people you like, well, I'm scared to see like what the price is gonna be, reach out anyway so we can talk about it. Y'all, so Biscuit, my dog, my Yorkie is scratching on my door because he's like, okay, you should be wrapping up right right about now. So he knows like, this is about the time when I finish up. But I look forward to connecting with you, hearing what your goals and your dreams are. Let me know if you want a spot in that event in Atlanta. I would love to meet you in person. I'm super excited about meeting some of y'all in person, and for some of you guys to meet each other in person, because some of the events that I went to, that I've been to, I made some lifelong friends. I'm friends with people that I met like years and years and years ago, and we're still friends. And we met in person at an in-person event. So it's not just about getting the information; it's about being in the room and connecting with people as well. So let me know if you're interested in getting a spot in that. Don't forget to download 10 ways to package and sell your expertise online if you haven't already. And y'all, I will see y'all back here next Thursday, the same time and the same place. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday and a beautiful weekend, and I'll be seeing you again soon. Have a good one.